Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to do a fisherman's knot. I am working on a ZickZack scarf and I'm using Advent minis to make this. And for Advent I have 24 minis. I don't know if I'll end up using them all or not, but at any rate it's a lot of little bits of yarn. So you can see that the colors are changing in the scarf as we go up. So every time I run out of one mini, I add in the next mini. And the question is, how am I going to put all of these together without having a bazillion ends to weave in at the end? So what I have decided to do is join each mini using a fisherman's knot, and I will show you how to do this. Currently, I am working with these two yarns. I'm marling two of the fingering weight yarns together to give me a sort of a DK weight. And I still have a lot to go of this brown color. I still have most of that ball left. So I'm going to separate that one out. But this other ball that I'm marling with it, I'm almost at the end and I'm ready to join in my next color. So there is the end of the current yarn that I'm running out of. And here's my new ball that I'm going to add in. Okay, here's my new ball. And here is the end of this ball. So I have the end of the new ball up here, and I have the end of the old ball down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a regular overhand knot, which you do simply by looping the bottom of your end around, making kind of a circle, tucking it under the end, and then you would pull it tight. And that's your basic overhand knot. It looks kind of like a pretzel. But in this case, I'm going to do it around the other yarn. So in the middle of the hole, where I'm making my overhand knot, is going to be this other yarn strand. So I'm going to make my overhand knot with the old yarn around the new yarn. And I'm just putting the knot in the old yarn. I'm not doing anything with the new yarn except putting it through the middle of the hole. Draw it tight, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the new yarn. I'm going to make an overhand knot with the new yarn around the old yarn. So I'll bring the old yarn through the middle and make a knot with the new yarn. Simple overhand knot, and just pull it tight. Okay? So now I have two knots on my yarn. A knot with the old yarn around the new yarn, and a knot with the new yarn around the old yarn. And I'm going to take the two ends and I'm going to pull them so that the two knots come together like that. And now they're tight. Okay, so now I pull and pull and pull, and it's a very tight knot and it's not going to come apart. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these two ends nice and close. Snip. Well, if I had a decent pair of pit snippers, they might come right off, but there we go. Okay, I get trimmed my ends. Here's my knot. I pull. It's not coming apart. It's nice and tight. And now I will just continue knitting with this and incorporate it right into my fabric. Now, every change of color that you see here, there is one of those little knots. And part of the reason is because it's a garter stitch fabric, so it's kind of bumpy anyway. And I'm marling two colors, so they kind of blend in. But let me tell you, when I go through and try to find the knot, usually I can't. Okay, I did find this one. See if you can see it. It's right here is where the knot is. And then if I feel in here, see if I can find another one of those knots. Usually, especially with this bumpy garter stitch fabric, I can't even feel where the knots are. It's working really well. Now I learned this neat little knot from Clara Parkes. I will put a link to her video in the description box so you can take a look at hers as well. I hope this was helpful for you and have a great day. Bye-bye.